Betty, it was so good to see you again. I can't even tell you how ecstatic I was to see your video. Your audio was a little bit hard to hear, but I don't care because I got to see you. So this week is teaching week. So this week I'm going to teach about my work area in Disney World. My favorite thing about working at Disney World was how in-depth the stories are in the work areas. Everything that you come in contact with when you're in a Disney theme park has been planned, whether it's the props in the queue line or the ground at your feet. And it's all part of a story. And I used to take time to tell these stories to the guests. So today I'm going to tell some of them to you. I used to know every inch of our queue line. It was ridiculous. So when you go through the queue line, the first place that you encounter is Tiger Temple. And instead of worshiping a deity, these people are worshiping a tiger. There's a big statue of a tiger. And there's carvings that were brought in from like India or something like that, animals on the screens that you pass by. And you go from that room into what we like to call the marketplace. There's shops for all the shopkeepers around. And behind each shop throughout the entire Asia is a picture of the king and queen of Anandapur. And the size of that picture tells you how wealthy the shopkeeper is. So if there's a bike with a bunch of little fruits and stuff, they're going to have a really small picture because they're small marketplace people. But if you go into like further down the line, there's a guy with a shop called Mr. Paninka, and his picture is like an 8x10 picture, so he's a really wealthy shopkeeper. You walk from the marketplace and into the painted pavilion, and up on top of the ceiling in the painted pavilion you will notice that there are fables, Indian fables, and there's 4 of them, and each one is told in a series of like 2 pictures. And then you go into Mr. Paninka's shop, and like I mentioned earlier, he's probably the richest shopkeeper in Anandapur. He sells items that are based off of animals. He has lots of puppetry in the ceiling. You can tell that his family lives above the shops. There is a bunk up in the little loft above. You can see the beds made up. And outside, you can see the toy bike and the laundry and stuff for his wife and children of work and play. Once you leave Mr. Paninka's shop, you go into what we affectionately call the ore room. And that is actually the store where, before you go on to your expedition for Kali expeditions, you can buy rafting supplies. And on the walls are ores that are decorated by previous explorers. You go from the ore room to the rafting office. The rafting office is basically where you would book your expedition. It has a map of Anandapur, pictures of things that are going to happen on your journey are up around the ceiling. And you'll see a lot more supplies in here in addition to what was in the ore room. After you leave the rafting office, you go down to the river, and we put you in a raft so that you can go down the Chakranandi River. Now, Chakranandi River means river that runs in a circle, which you will notice that our river certainly does run in a circle because you'll end up getting off at the same place that you got on. You'll go up a waterfall where you will smell jasmine in the mist. You will go past a cave that we like to call Tiger Falls, and it is because if you look very closely at the rock face from a certain angle, you will see the face of a tiger, and if you listen carefully, you can hear that tiger roaring at you. And this is a sort of ode to what was previously planned for the attraction, because it was supposed to be Tiger Rapids Run. I think it's something along those lines. When you go through, you will see the T-Tac logging company has started to destroy part of the riverside, and we call this area the burn zone. There's fires everywhere because they're burning down the trees as they're tearing them down, and all this destruction that they have caused has caused a mudslide that unfortunately has diverted the river. And so you will go down that mudslide, and as you're in the washout, you will go by little geysers going off. You'll go through a cave, and then you will see our white-cheeked gibbons playing on the temples that have been long abandoned, and you will come back to the beginning point where you got on. Everywhere around Anandapur, you will see a sign. It has a hand that says "Stop the Tea-Tack Logging Company." And on the bottom of it, it'll say something about a meeting on Thursday night at Adivika Station number 12, I think it is. If you go to the Bat House in the Maharaja Jungle Trek, you will see on a placard in front of the door that it is Adivika Station number 12. So basically that meeting that they're planning, that protest meeting, is located in the Bat House. All around Anandapur, and in Sirkazong too, you'll see prayer flags hanging. Now this is true to the cultures in the Himalayas because they do hang prayer flags. And the story is that as the flags unravel, it'll carry the prayers off to the heavens. And once the flag is completely carried off, then the prayer will come true. Well, the prayer flags that are all around Anandapur all have pictures of animals on it. So the prayers are all for the animals to have a better life in the world. I hope that you enjoyed my nerdy little outlook on here. I'm sorry that I didn't include the snow footage today. I think I'm going to put that on my personal channel instead. I love you, Betty, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.